Good afternoon from Mrs.
Bon après-midi.
Third leadership debate of the Liberal Party of Canada. My name is Bernadette Clément et je suis la modératrice pour ce débat.
I'm the moderator for this debate. I will present the arguments of the 9 candidates everywhere in the country.
Follows. We will start with one-on-one debates, where the candidates will ask each other questions within a range of policy themes chosen for today's debate. The language used to ask a question will not dictate the language of the response. These themes are the role of the federal government within the Federation, the future of the middle class and income equality, transit and infrastructure, job creation, research and development, funding and innovation, immigration, international trade, and reconnecting with Canadian voters. Ensuite, nous allons passer à un format de...
Then we will go to a three-person debate with questions from the public here in Mississauga. These debates will last 5 minutes each and have the candidates have been determined randomly this week.
Down clock. Should any candidate run over time, their microphone will be turned off. With these rules in place, we can proceed with a productive and informative debate. We begin by inviting our first pair to the podiums. Monsieur Garneau, you have the first question for Monsieur Trudeau.
Thank you, and good to be talking with you, Justin, and talking about an issue that you've identified as a priority, although we have not heard very much in the way of specifics. And of course, to address this issue, we need to be talking about policy, and I'll get to that, but also leadership. And of course, leadership is about much more than being a motivational speaker. It's about making some very, very difficult decisions, often on your own. So please tell us what in your resume qualifies you to be the leader of the country.
Thank you, Mark. It's a pleasure to be here, and it's a pleasure to actually tackle this issue of the middle class. Because for me, I've been very clear on a number of policy fronts why trade is so important for middle class. Because 50% higher wages come in trade-intensive industries than not. That's why I talk about trade. I put out an op-ed this morning on education that details an ambitious target that we have to start hitting. Leadership is about drawing people in and about involving Canadians in the kinds of conversations we have. And you can't lead from a podium in a press conference. You can't win over Canadians with a 5-point plan. You have to connect with them, and we have to make room for Canadians in the debate that we have coming forward.
Thank you. If we're talking about policy, you haven't really addressed specific policy with respect to the middle class. You've spoken in generalities. But let me get back to the question that I asked, and let me ask it slightly differently. You and I are both competing for a job, the job of being the Prime Minister of Canada. And the audience out here is like the review panel. They're going to make the decision about it. So let me get back to my question. What is it in your resume that qualifies you to be the future Prime Minister of Canada?
I fought extremely hard to earn a nomination in Papineau that involved going up against strong Liberals and convincing people to come together under my leadership. I fought in a very difficult election in 2008 where I won back a contested, a very difficult riding from the Bloc Québécois. I did that by pulling people together in a riding that wasn't particularly inclined towards the Liberal Party or towards me personally. And then I did that again in 2011 in what was a very tough election that you remember well, yes. By increasing my majority.
Pulling people in together is also very important, I agree with you, but also you have to have a track record. You have to have a record of making tough decisions, often on your own. You have to have a well of experience to draw on. It is about much more than being a good speaker. Tell us what Absolutely. It is that makes you the leader of the country.
The Canadians that I've met across this